Hello Tokusatsu community and welcome back to my SODO Sunday series here on the Toku Toy Store YouTube channel. This is the series where I cover all the latest SODO, SHODO, and Uniline figure news from Japan. Now this week we actually have a lot of Kamen Rider Saber stuff to discuss in the Revice line and a little bit of SHODO information. So let's go and get right on into it. So we have the full content layout for SODO Revice by 6 coming out here at the end of March, and we found out that half the set is going to be Kamen Rider Saber focused, specifically for these guys here, the kind of guardians, kind of warriors that showed up towards the end of the show. They're actually going to be bringing them here to the SODO line, which I honestly thought was pretty unexpected. I completely forgot about these characters even existing. But hey, SODO did not, so they are here, so you can recreate all the different final battles from towards the end of Saber. You can pose them with Kamen Rider Storius. They have all of their different weapons, which is kind of the biggest thing that differentiates them. I think there's a little bit of changes in their shoulder pads and stuff too. And they also said that these can double as the kind of temple guardians we saw very briefly at the beginning of Superhero Senki over the summer. So they didn't have like the exact models of the weapons that those versions were using, so you don't get those weapons, but you can still pretend like they are those temple guardians. And this is not anything I would have expected. This was never even on my radar for Saber stuff they still needed to do. But hey, it's still pretty cool that they have it here. Those weapons look awesome, and it's just going to give you a lot more display opportunities. And speaking of display opportunities, also from the end of Saber, they're going to be releasing the Kamen Rider Saber Wonder Almighty form, which is the form that he used with that special book that he got in the finale of the show. You're going to be able to get the belt that has the Wonder Almighty book in it, and they're instead of just including the belt, which is the only difference between this form and Brave Dragon, they're including an entire Saber Brave Dragon figure in the SODO Revice line for this belt to go with. So definitely going the extra mile for this, which is pretty neat. I'm just honestly would have just preferred, or all I needed for them to do was just the belt. So hey, this works. And you get the fully painted Saber legs, which was kind of a thing that's got less and less painted while the actual Saber line was going on, so that is a welcome inclusion. And then the final thing for Kamen Rider Saber is going to be his stage show form, the Ultimate Bahamut, I believe is how you sort of pronounce it. A repaint and slash kind of kitbash of a couple suits together. It's primarily a repaint of the Emotional Dragon form from the movie that came out back in 2020, but it also has a repaint of Primitive Dragon's head, and I believe it has Jao Dragon's like cape piece. So this is pretty cool. I'm really happy that they're doing stage show figures again. They actually specifically mentioned how this was able to happen because of the overwhelming positive response to Arc 01 from last year. Not because Arc 01 was that cool of a suit, I mean it was, but they basically said that a lot of people were really happy that stage show forms were coming, so they're going to try to do this going forward, which hey, that's awesome. I'm really happy that we're going to be able to get more stage show related figures in the SODO line, because stage show stuff never gets figures, like ever. So I'm really happy to see them do this in Saber's line, or actually in Revice's line, because it's a Revice figure technically. But while that wraps up SODO Revice by 6, we have our first figure from by 7, which is going to be the Neobata Genome, which of course is the 01 based form we saw in the Beyond Generations film that came out back in December. So you're going to get the Revive version of this, you're going to get the Vice version of this, and you're going to get pieces to make the Genome, which is definitely a thing. So it's cool, of course, that we're getting this. It's actually appeared in the show at least once now at this point, so it is also a show form. So I'm happy that they are finally getting around to doing this one. And I do like the look of this a lot. Not the remix form of it, but I do like the look of just the actual regular form of this quite a bit. And then moving over to SHODO, we have a slight bit of news related to the Gokaiger set. So we talked about the SHODO Gokaiger sets that were announced a couple of months ago, but now they have some more better prototypes, or kind of in-hand prototypes. Those were like renders that we saw before. So we got to see now how big Navi is going to be in comparison to the figures. And yes, it's obviously not to scale. The Navi is a lot bigger than it should be, but that's just kind of what they had to do. They weren't necessarily trying to make it figure scale. They were just trying to give you a little Navi figure to have. But kind of the biggest things were what they did to the gold mode armor. So first of all, they were able to confirm that it can work with Gokai Red if you like to recreate the 2 times he's used that in the Hyper Battle DVD or in Super Sentai Strongest Battle. You can recreate that here, which is really great. But you might notice that there's a little bit of a difference to it because they have actually added stickers to this form. So when we first saw this, there was not going to be any stickers on any of the 6 Ranger helmets on the gold mode armor. It was just going to be painted the appropriate color, but no other details other than that. But there's a lot of people that wanted those details to be there, including myself, and I was perfectly fine with them doing stickers. So they're going to provide you stickers. It's not going to be like one big sticker, it's going to be like 15 little tiny stickers, so keep that in mind, because that's definitely going to be a little tricky in certain parts. But hey, they are doing it so you can have a little bit more of a lot more of a better looking gold armor that matches the show a little bit better, but it is going to be tedious. And they did say that these are prototype stickers, so they might not look so good here. That's just because they were printed out very quickly to show you what you're going to get, and the finished product is going to look a lot better. And then to show that it's Gokaiger related, of course they had to do a Gokai change of all of the different SHODO supersets that we've had so far for the Sentai series, including one little sneaky prototype that they snuck in there for Gokai Red's Gokai change, which is an unpainted prototype of a Red Falcon from Live Man. So this does confirm that Live Man is going to be the next Sentai series to get a SHODO superset. No details on anything about this at all yet, but hey, it's pretty cool that they did that as a fun little tease, and also just look how far SHODO Supers come. We already have like 8 sets now. That's pretty crazy. Alright guys, well that's going to do it for this week's episode of SODO Sundays. Of course, I hope you all enjoyed it. Of course, leave a comment down below on anything you'd like to talk about from this episode. And you can check out a bunch of other Tokusatsu related content from me on the internet, on Toku Topics on YouTube, Geek Each Week on YouTube, and Soda Pop on YouTube. And you can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or LightningFigPR. And I'll see you all on the next episode of SODO Sundays. And until next time, Tokusatsu forever.